After more than 3 years of war, the Russian army has still not managed to establish a basic supply of underwear and socks for its troops. This was stated by Yuri Podolyaka, one of the most prominent pro-Kremlin propagandists, on the Metametrica program. I'm truly amazed right now. I don't know how this is possible. 3.5 years of war. Can't we supply our army with underwear and socks centrally? He exclaimed indignantly. According to the war correspondent, volunteers continue to cover most of these needs. Our pre-war standards still haven't changed, and we only get one uniform for 6 months. Everything else is purchased with our own money, Podolyaka said. When the host asked him if Defense Minister Andrei Belousov was aware of the situation, the propagandist affirmed, "They, the Defense Ministry, can't do anything there. I don't know why." The Z blogger added, "Supply problems in the Russian armed forces are systemic." Back in June, the pro-Kremlin newspaper Lenta reported that Russian servicemen participating in the invasion of Ukraine, despite receiving salaries of 200,000 to 300,000 rubles, were forced to spend almost all of these funds on frontline needs. According to the publication, soldiers are purchasing food, ammunition, gasoline, equipment, including electronic warfare systems, at their own expense, and even paying for funerals of their comrades. In September, Ukrainian military intelligence released a recording of an intercepted telephone conversation in which Russian servicemen complained about poor supplies and unexpected expenses. One soldier said that almost everything has to be bought out of pocket or sent from home, and that units often resort to collecting money from among their ranks. People chip in, buy things like lighters, because they're not issued anything, he said. In October, the pro-war channel Tactical Medicine Courses reported that Russian armed forces soldiers were receiving medical supplies manufactured in 1977. The channel's author published photographs of boxes containing old Soviet bandages, cotton wool and dressing packs, noting that the situation was systemic. Meanwhile, in May, former Defense Minister and current Secretary of the Russian Security Council, Sergei Shoigu, cited reforms to soldiers' daily life, including the abolition of rare trips to the bathhouse and the transition to weekly underwear changes. Among his accomplishments as head of the military department, he claimed to have initiated large-scale changes immediately after his appointment. According to him, in about 6 months, approximately 14,500 showers were installed in the barracks. Rags and buckets were replaced with vacuum cleaners, foot wraps were abolished, and uniforms were updated. In this case, Ukrainian journalist Denis Kazansky reported that Russians' interest in the war against Ukraine has plummeted to a minimum. This is evidenced by comments from Z patriots of the Russian Federation themselves. A major Z channel recently complained about a sharp drop in donations for the Russian army and a general decline in interest in publications about the so-called SVO. It admitted that even pro-regime subscribers are showing signs of burnout, and even its supporters are fed up with the war unleashed by Russia. The channel's administrator openly writes that drones for the front have risen in price to 250,000 to 270,000 rubles, but raising enough money for even one is becoming nearly impossible under current conditions. He notes that of an audience of over 1 million, only about 10% remain active, and posts are read by approximately 100,000 people per day. He argues that declining reach and unsubscribed users make fundraising efforts pointless. Interest in SVO is rapidly waning. Because of this, the authors of Z Resource are seriously discussing the possibility of closing the fundraising campaign, admitting that they can no longer raise enough money for even a single drone. While they continue to appeal to Russian businesses for help, this seems more like a desperate attempt to stay afloat.